Hi there, my name is Ryan, and I'm here today to read this paper that I wrote. It wasn't for school or anything, it's just something that I'm passionate about, and I would like to spread my theories to the world, and YouTube has given me the chance to do that. So allow me to relate you to my sort of thesis. With all these conflicting viewpoints of religion flying around out there, it's a wonder humanity hasn't driven itself insane. Okay, some would say it has. But I'm here today to offer my own perspective on religion. Rest assured, this is not a paper that is going to preach the gospel or tell you you're going to hell. It will, I hope, make you see things in a somewhat different way. This debate has been throughout our culture from the very beginning of mankind, and it's that which I am here to talk about today. Now, where to begin? Atheists tend to think of themselves as logical people. I don't believe in any fantasy world, God, or angels. I believe what's here, what's real. An atheist's argument tends to be that mankind, from its inception, has always tried to worship some kind of god, whether it's Zeus or Odin or Caesar or Xerxes. According to your average atheist, religious people are just afraid of being alone or facing the fact that there is no god or afterlife. So they invent religion to make them feel better. However, a religious person, on the other hand, will say just the opposite, that there has to be a god because of everything that's around us, including ourselves, our own souls. However, to many an atheist, a Christian's idea of God seated upstairs watching us and bringing us to heaven when we die seems like a children's bedtime story. Silly garbage that simply makes people do all sorts of crazy things, like act like they're better than everyone else, condemn certain types of people, and tell them they're all going to hell. Well, to be fair, that's not an average Christian. Not all are radicals. However, both sides of this religious argument are trying to prove their own point. What am I? Well, I do believe in God, but not in the same way that a lot of Christians do. I tend to think much like an atheist does, logically. I consider myself a very logical person. Now, any talk of religion is a touchy subject, seeing as how it leads to all sorts of different arguments. Creationism versus evolution, gay rights, abortion rights, etc. Well, I'm not here to talk about those specifics. Like I said, I'm not here to sell you on Christianity. I am simply here to talk about what is actually a very simple single idea, the belief of God, whatever else you may draw from it. Now, there's one thing I tend to agree with some people, like, say, Bill Maher, thinking that anyone who thinks God is sitting upstairs in his throne, waiting to bring us up to heaven where we play in the fields and live for all eternity, is living a child's fantasy. Such a viewpoint of things is childish oversimplification. However, I do believe there is something more out there. We are all part of the universe, and one way or another, to say we understand it fully and we know that nothing's out there is insulting. Every one of us, be it Christian, Jew, Muslim, Hindu, or atheist, has their own deep moments. Times in our lives where we look deep inside ourselves, asking who we are, what's the point of being here, can I be loved by someone, what is love, something like that. We've all lived them because we're human. They're called spiritual moments. Moments when we where we just can't help but think deeply about life. Because isn't life the most wonderful thing? It's not as if we're just a pile of cells designed to do a certain job, which is living. We are alive. We feel, we think, we love, we make stupid mistakes, we cry, we hate, we commit violence, we make up, we live our lives. The expression, "I think, therefore I am," comes to mind. One knows one is alive because they're standing there thinking about it. People can understand the brain, and we may even replicate its functions in a computer, but a computer will never be alive. No matter how many great things science can give us, we can never solve the mystery of the miracle of life. This is what religious people have tried to do since the beginning of time. People have simply tried to solve the mystery of life, of the universe, of everything that's around us. Everyone knows we're a part of something huge, larger than ourselves. Even atheists can recognize this, that we are all part of the greater universe. What religion has tried to do is simply to figure out what. In the old days, people believed Zeus was the king of the gods, a very flawed, nasty man who threw down his thunderbolts when he was angry. This helped people explain the thunder. Things like this have now been scientifically explained, but once again, the one thing that can never be explained through science or even through religion is the miracle of life and the universe. Although our minds can never truly grasp the infinite complexities of the universe, that's exactly why we should know there's something out there greater than ourselves. Even these ancient Greek stories didn't have an explanation for how the universe began. They basically just wrote, and pop, there it was. Modern-day scientists tell us how the Big Bang created the universe, but what caused the Big Bang? No matter how far we go back, we need an explanation for everything that came before it. The chicken and the egg come to mind? We have no concept of infinity. Everything has to end, but we also can't conceive of anything truly ever ending. If it all ends, then there's nothing, and if there's nothing it's like nothing even existed at all. If there's nothing in existence, there must never have been anything in existence. Headache? Don't think too much about it, you'll just make yourself sick. Trust me, I know. You see, our minds are so limited. Humans cannot grasp the concept of infinity. There has to be an end to every idea we conceive of. There has to be a beginning. Obviously, however, that's not a satisfactory explanation for the universe itself. If the universe exists, and we are so puny-minded that we cannot conceive of its infiniticities, there must exist something beyond ourselves. These are the things we can't understand. Not even religion can truly explain these things, so in this, both Christians and atheists are both out of their element. But since the goal of religion is to try to explain these things, and there can be no explanation, is there even really a difference between a Christian and an atheist? The pure explanation is actually insanely simple. We can never understand, so stop trying. Accept that there is more out there than you know. But there are people who foolishly think themselves more intelligent than this. People who call themselves Christians and people who call themselves atheists. An atheist who just sits and states that what's here and now, 9 to 5, work, football on the weekends, what he sees and experiences in his lifetime, is all that is real, and there's nothing else out there, is acting arrogant and simply has no grasp of the bigger picture. But so is someone who thinks that they have God and heaven all figured out. No one truly knows what's out there. All we know is what has been laid out for us to believe. The Bible, the Torah, the Quran, all similar books telling us what God has let us know of Him. Have you ever truly stopped to consider what living for eternity means? Of course not. They can't conceive of it. But if it exists, there must be some being that can conceive of it. Just goes to show how much anyone who thinks that they're as far as life goes, that their existence is the pinnacle of creation, that nothing is real but what they experience in their lives is just being arrogant and stupid. Here's what I believe. There is a great universal existence. I call it God. God created the existence, and existence can never just cease to be for the above explanation. The one truly indisputable thing in existence, the flame that outshines all other objects created, is the soul. The being of a person, and that can never be extinguished. Our lives, like I have said, are such a gift and such a mystery. How arrogant must we be to assume that we know exactly what happens when we die? That we know what's here and all there is. We are minuscule beings in this universe. We haven't even been a speck on the galaxy or the planet called Earth for more than a fraction of its long life. I don't think a person just lives out their lives for all eternity like they do here. Dying, in a sense, really is dying. One doesn't continue to live life the way we know it. One transcends this realm of existence, perhaps becoming something to which the concepts of eternity aren't so baffling. Perhaps it's a completely different existence, not even linear in the sense we have. I can't say what it is for certain because I admit my own limited scope, but I believe you could call it heaven or hell. I believe. Here's what I know. God exists, and He created us. Heaven is not a place where He's waiting for us to come play checkers with. He's not even a He, really, but just something much greater than any human specifications could lay on Him. He's beyond our scope of understanding, and we should just accept Him as real and form our further beliefs from that. So what are your beliefs? What do you believe God has let us know of Him? I am a Christian. I am a Catholic. I do believe in Jesus Christ. I believe God sent Him to earth. I can't understand the whole idea of why, and I don't pretend to, but that is my belief. I'm not going to go off here and say what I believe about Jesus Christ right now. I certainly could, but that's a story for another time. It's not the point of this paper. All I'm saying here is you don't have to believe in everything I believe in. You don't have to be a Jehovah's Witness. You don't have to hate gay people, and you don't have to be Kirk Cameron to believe in God. All you have to do is be a logical person. And quite frankly, if you say you don't believe in God, then I think that makes you a very illogical person. Actually, I believe that what I have just said here is just a readout of what is pretty much common sense. I believe any atheist knows all in his heart, even if he doesn't admit it to himself. The true atheist doesn't. I believe the atheist knows all this in his heart, even if he doesn't admit it to himself. The true atheist actually doesn't exist. However, the people in this world that call themselves atheists actually think very much like I do. And I'm a Catholic, which is why I can say, in my mind, that I am a Catholic and an atheist. Thank you very much.